Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome. We are tonight. We are live from the Apocalypse Cabin. Um, I'm going to be here for some time, so I didn't want to uh, wait on doing another panel show. I know everybody knows how much I love those. Sometimes these are fun, and sometimes these are a mess. So I'm going to ask everybody for a few ground rules. Please don't talk over each other. Please wear headphones, because if you don't wear headphones, it becomes an echoey mess. Now, I know some people are like, no, I have this echo cancellation system, or no. StreamYard doesn't handle guests that do not wear headphones well, especially when we have 10 people on the panel or however many people we're going to have in the panel. You will notice that pinned at the very top of the live chat there is the invitation where you too can join the show tonight. We're just coming off the heels of our Roswell 75th anniversary special. And I wanted to mention that I got my balls busted by several people because not a lot of people were covering the 75th anniversary or didn't think it was important. But I, for one, believe that Roswell is the most important UFO case. And the reason for that is because it has the most evidence of something real happening, with the most verifiable witnesses that actually were in the military at the time that they tell their stories of their experiences. Children of people who saw bodies and more have testified. Everyone knows one of my favorite books is called Children of Roswell. So I stand by our doing that. It's an incredible mystery. It's now a 75-year-old mystery, and it is one of the best cases in all of conspiracy land because there is a mountain of evidence, testimony, witness testimony, and more for you to dig through in order to get to some kind of answers. I think that also it's important to note that Michael Schratt was included in the 75th Roswell anniversary, and he actually presented a brand new witness that nobody ever heard from. Additionally, I just want to thank all of the Facebook UFO groups that I tried to post the special event to. I don't know what it is with these guys that live in their mom's basement and they have literally nothing going on in their lives. One of them actually gave themselves the title Executive Administrative Director of the Facebook group. Congratulations. You're an executive administrator of a Facebook group. The point of a lot of these Facebook groups is shameless self-promotion by whoever started them. And it's interesting that an awful lot of these groups, you can't post anything unless the egomaniac who runs the Facebook group is cool with you or your show or whatever, but they can spam that group all day long with their garbage. Not that I'm bitter. Maybe I'm a little bitter. So all night tonight, we're going to take questions, comments. I just saw somebody pop into into our backstage, but then pop right back out. But we do have some people standing by to become part of the panel. Once again, we are broadcasting live from the Apocalypse Cabin. Not sure you can see it. You see that dark shadow on the wall at the top, or on the door at the top there? That's actually a metal Sasquatch cutout. And boy, I wish I could zoom in for you, but something I just added to the cabin. So we are here live from the Apocalypse Cabin doing a panel show discussing both the Roswell special event and all things strange and mysterious. You too are very welcome here. Don't be shy. If you've got a webcam and a microphone, or even just a microphone and a computer, you can just put an avatar up and be a part of the show. So don't be shy. Don't just watch the show or listen to the show. Come and be a part of the show. And I've got some of my crazy friends already in the green room. I see we've got Ron from Cosmic Neighbors. They're sobering him up right now, getting him ready. We've got the Sixth Sense. They just gave him a shot of Narcanon, and he's getting ready for the show. Lord Ludacris is here as well, and I am going to do this as well. We have the chat popped out, and I will be sharing it. So thank you to the Sixth Sense for getting me that, so that we can keep up with the comments, the questions, and everything else in the live chat. I do want to thank everybody who did join us for this Roswell 75th anniversary event. But I'll tell you what, everything is a learning experience, and that doing that huge project for me was a learning experience. And one thing I learned is that you can get the same number of views from a 6-hour video as you can from a 5-minute one. And maybe that's something we'll be exploring with shorts in the future. But I stand by it. I think that was great work. It was cool to put together all that original witness testimony and more. And my thanks to all of those amazing guests that we had, experts and authors on the mystery of Roswell. If you haven't checked it out, there is now, people say, when are you doing a new show? Well, there's 3, and there are 20 hours for you to digest. Let me know what you think in the comments of those videos about each of the guests. We had pro-alien hypothesis people. We had Walter Bosley, who believes it was some sort of space experiments, early space experiments that were classified. We've had ardent skeptic Cal Korff, who was like, no, it was mogul. It was a balloon. That's it. What do you think? I'm still on the fence, but I refuse to believe that all those people who saw bodies and told their children about seeing bodies are all liars. It's just an incredible mystery. Glad that we went that far down the rabbit hole. And if you made it through that whole thing, congratulations. I appreciate that. So let's bring in some of our panel members here. We've got the Sixth Sense is with us.
Shit. Me first? Oh God. I don't like going first, but okay. All right, man. Hey, what's up, people? I just want to say that, hey, if you do join, I will have a link there for you to look at the pop out chat there, the chat there on YouTube, because I think that matters. People out there listening do matter here. They do matter. I mean, I
Sure. Yeah.
I really do watch what you people say, even though I don't always respond. I do watch what you say. And hey, get up here, and instead of me getting shot up with Narcon left and right here, why don't you guys get up here and take a couple
Yeah.
yourself?
Give him a break. Absolutely. Give
Yeah,
him a
give me a
break.
break, man. I'm on 3
Yeah.
now.
So,
Jeez.
Sixth Sense, what did you think of this, Roswell? Was it too much, maybe, and that's why
Um,
the
No, you know what I noticed? What I noticed with the people that were watching and commenting, because that's important too. Just people watching. I don't know what you're saying. Say something, right? I think that a fair portion of them really totally enjoyed it, and I'm positive of that. I mean, they've said it themselves. Um,
Yeah, we got a
but
lot of
I,
good compliments. We did get a lot of people who were like, "This was the coolest Roswell thing I've ever
yeah,
seen. Thanks for
yeah,
doing this."
yeah.
So that,
They're
yeah.
totally interested in that, and I can totally understand that. I think that what it does give people is an all-in-one type place to go ahead and see all of the evidence, or well, a fair portion
Most
of
of
it.
it, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, quite a bit of it, and I do agree with you that there is quite a bit of evidence, if that's what you want to call it, with as regards to the number of people. The sheer number of people on Roswell is probably overtakes everything by 100-fold easy, right? I'm not really a total fan of everybody that is a supplier of evidence. I mean, I'm a spectacle dude anyways. You really got to totally convince me before I actually believe something. I mean, and that doesn't just go with UFOs. It goes with other stuff too. But I'm more than willing to look at what people have to offer. And if you don't look at that, then you're not looking at the whole evidence, and you're being one-sided, and I know that had come up in some of the conversations, that some were saying something, or some people were taking it like, look, you're not listening to everything. Well, and I agree with that. You really need to listen to everything, even if you're not going to agree with everything. At least listen to it. and
Yeah,
see
and
what's offered.
some people had some strange complaints. Like I got an email about some
Yeah.
obscure blogger who posts, to a blog that looks like it's from 1992. And I got all these complaints like you didn't include anything from his blog. I didn't even know about the guys. It's very difficult to
There's probably
get
millions.
everything. We try to get the most of it. But let's bring in here. We've got Ron from Cosmic Neighbors is
Oh,
here,
hey, Ron.
What's up,
proving
guys?
this is just proof that we will let anybody on the show. So you too can join us. Sure.
No, so I just want to say that. Excuse me. I just want to say this. Even when, damn it, sorry about that. Even when I was falling asleep, like because I actually
I was there for till the whole thing almost.
Oh
I,
my
I
no,
goodness.
I
dropped
know
out
you.
2 hours
No,
early.
no, I know you were because what I did was even when I knew I wasn't going to be by the computer, I left it on. So you still like I just made sure it
Yeah,
played all the
easy.
way through. I
Yeah,
even went
easy.
in the chat, where you click on participants, and I was like, "Oh, poor little Stevie." It only said Truth Seekers, and I was like, "He's there," but I was there the whole time. I would
Oh, I
wake
didn't
up.
know that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
I
know that.
listened to the whole thing myself. I mean, I fell asleep at the last part, though. I tried to
You,
wake up before the end of it, but
you know what the
I was
thing?
way tired.
You know what the thing? My look at it. Only thing that gets annoying is like the bottom line is this: none of us were there, right? We like so none of us really know. There's a lot of evidence. I'm one that
Sure.
believes the
Yeah.
Roswell thing, right? But when you have people that it's okay to disagree, but when they start like talking and becoming so condescending, like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's not true, then where's your absolute proof it's not true? I like that. It's just like just nobody was there. We have evidence. We could compile it all and see, and you make your decision. But to talk down to people like you're an idiot or something because you believe this, the only person I think of the evidence thing that I made comments on was I forgot the guy's name. Is it Anderson? That he was 5 years old or 6 years old or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah. Gerald Anderson. Yeah.
The only thing about him was it was like, wow, the amount of detail this guy is
Yeah.
remembering from that age. And I'm just thinking for myself, if I was thinking of a 5, 6 year old kid, you're like in shock or seeing all this stuff going on, like taking in all that detail, memorializing it. But who knows? Maybe that's just what he seen it like that.
Some
I don't know.
people, yeah, and somebody had mentioned that some people are like that, and I do know that there are people that, dude, they have the memory like a freaking elephant, and then some, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
say that that isn't true,
Well,
but
let's
I
bring in.
also,
We've got Lord Ludicrous
oh
Plaid
God,
is
hey,
here.
Lord,
Oh,
what's up?
this is ludicrous. You let anybody in.
Yeah. How y'all
Emily
doing?
will let anybody in. You let him in.
Good to see you. Yeah.
You guys doing okay?
Yeah,
Good
what's
to
going
see
on,
you.
Hey,
bud?
what's up,
Oh, not
man?
much. Stephen, excellent job with the July 7th with all three parts, man. That was awesome. I forgot
Yeah.
about
Thanks.
some of the interviews. Re-listening to it was kind of like
Yeah, that
a
was fun
stroll
trying
down
to.
memory lane.
It was fun trying to clean that stuff up because it was really like terrible audio, terrible video. It was old VHS dubbed to
It's kind of a
digitized. Yeah.
nostalgic feel to it, though. And, I thought about that too. I thought to myself, because okay, I'm an audiophile. I really do like a good audio. And actually, when I do videos, I do fix the audio and stuff. But how can you do it for 20 hours? That would take you forever. But the thing is I also thought too, and I said to myself, I said, you know what? It's kind of got that nostalgic feel to it too, which people will recognize, and that's the thing. Somebody that's heard it before will recognize it because of that audio that's a little bit, foggy or whatever the thing is. So I don't know. For me, some parts were a little low. I think that was probably the only part, but I think you really almost need to retain the nostalgic feel too. And so I think it was overall. I think it was great. You know what, dude? I think you picked some of the best stuff. The best stuff that was to offer.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have put everything in, it would have been 40
Yeah,
hours.
right. 400 hours probably. I mean, there's so much, and that's the thing though. I think that there's a way to present things, And look at you're a musician, right? Now look at try to play 1970 guitar on a 2020 guitar and amp. It doesn't sound the same, does it? No, it don't. It
No,
doesn't
yeah,
sound the
it's
same.
just like those new,
So
all the virtual synths that are designed to sound like 80s synthesizers. They're close, but it's not the
right,
same. Yeah.
yeah,
But
nope,
Steven,
nope.
you did a phenomenal job, though.
Oh,
You
Yeah, I
thanks. I
really
absolutely
tried.
appreciate
did.
that. Yeah,
Absolutely did.
I'll take the good, but I'll take the bad as well. Some people had just like, oh, you're beating a dead horse and this and that. But I just love that mystery. I've always been interested in it, and I wanted to do something for that anniversary. So, you know,
I
and
thought
I'm
it was
No.
sure,
great.
yeah, a few other
There was
channels covered it, but not that much.
Well, it
well,
was
you
for
know
me.
what,
It was interesting hearing some of the stories and stuff like, oh man, I remember back then when I believed that, or when I thought that was, what some of the witnesses said, then it turns out to be false. A lot of that stuff. It just, it
some of
was,
it.
yeah. I don't know. Was there anybody, Stephen, after talking through all those people, that made you say, maybe they are more right than the others? Or are you still stuck in the middle?
I still lean towards Don Schmidt and Tom Carey because
I
they
like him.
interviewed the
Yeah.
most people, and I'm telling you, if you go read that book Children of Roswell, you will believe that it was aliens, because it just doesn't make any sense that all of these old people near their deaths would suddenly start telling their children, look, I saw these bodies of these little aliens. I just want you to know that we're not alone in the universe. Like, there's some other people out there, and I saw some of them when this crash happened in Roswell where I was stationed, or whatever their story was. It just, there's too many of them, and to just think that all these people are just making up stuff as they're dying.
See, but that can work for you, or that could work against you, because I mean, as Ron said, and I agree with it, because at least with some of the people, when you're 5 years old and you're remembering, and I know I made a comment, colors of every single thing that was there, the color of their hair, the color of their car, the
Saying
color of
that they had 45s
yeah, I
like
think
that.
that is right. And how would you know it as a 45 unless you were grew up with that? But I think that I can't say 100% that I believed all of them, because I didn't. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Stephen. You need to present it all as one. Don't just cut out everything that you like and everything that stands for what you want the picture to look like. You
Sure,
need to
yeah.
present it all. So it could work for you, or it could work against you. Yeah.
But that's what I appreciated the way Steven did it, is that
Yeah.
it's not like he's living in this one bubble like
Yeah,
that.
I try to talk to the skeptical ones too. Like Cal
You
Corp
have to.
he's just convinced that's nothing but a weather balloon. All
He
these people
reminds
are
me
full
of
of shit.
Michael. He's like a Michael Shermer. It doesn't matter. It's like he's just
Yeah.
gonna say nope. Blah, 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 oh. Even if you throw out a fake name, he'll say, "Oh, that guy lied," like that.
I think that some have had.
Everybody sort of like, because I had him as a guest a few times, people wrongly assume that I agree with him on everything and I'm in his camp, and it's not true. And like, I definitely disagree with him on Roswell for sure. I just, I think that he dismisses a lot of the evidence and testimony,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and he doesn't really have a reason to, except like to say, oh, Jesse Marcel was known to embellish. Well, what does that mean? So he embellished. I don't know how that means he lied about the whole story. Or
Well,
whatever.
figure this, Stephen. You know how I do. I pretty much do an active research while the show is going on. Trust me, I've seen a lot of negative stuff about every single guest, but I've also seen a lot of positive stuff. Now that's it.
Yeah,
In
that's
order
my thing.
to,
There's no perfect guest. So
yeah, right.
somebody who like
You look at it
some of these
all.
people that absolutely hate one of the guests message me all this nasty shit because they didn't like
Yeah,
that
I know there
that
was.
we had them as a guest. I'm sorry, but I don't care about somebody's 20-year-old beef with some guest of mine. I just don't care. They're
That would
there
have
for a
been.
reason. Like Cal was there because he wrote this book, The Real Truth About Roswell, and he was the skeptical side, and he did his job. He did what he was supposed to do: come in and say these people are full of shit, and here's why, and here's my evidence that they're full of shit, or whatever. Yeah, but with the guests, there's no perfect guests.
Find two people in this whole world that agree 100% with each other. It just doesn't happen. I mean, it just doesn't happen.
Well,
You know, I mean-
Roswell's. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Go ahead, buddy.
I was gonna say it's just so complex. It's not just a black or white story. You know, there is the mogul part, and then there's a secondary crash or whatever. Like it can get confusing with where locations are and with who was there, the timelines on things. It's, I mean, it's easy to get lost in the story of Roswell and get things mixed up and things like that. So, I will say that.
Yeah.
I know they have a big they just had their conference or whatever it was, but I was talking Stephen Strat called me before. And because they're doing a MUFON symposium in Denver this weekend, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
And we were going on about the Roswell stuff too again. And a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to beat that dead horse a little bit more tomorrow. You'll see. It just so happened I wanted to kill Steven when I'm going like, oh Jesus, he has to announce 20 friggin' hours, huh? Like that.
Right before I do my Roswell piece, yes.
Yeah, no. It's actually I just got to show some. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
It's not gonna
That's
be.
the entire reason why I did that much coverage. It's just to shit all over Ron's show.
Yeah, but
that's why. I did it.
But look, it's archived now. It's archived, so people in the future.
I did get some compliments too on that old footage. Somebody said that was the cleanest audio and video of that testimony that I've ever seen. So that's good because now anybody can use that. It's Creative Commons, which means if you want to take any parts of those original testimony, even my fixed version, and use it, just thank us and give us a link or whatever, and you can use that testimony too. Now it's all cleaned up. It looks better. It sounds better, and you're welcome to use it. It's a part of history, and I thought it was worth taking the time to clean it all up.
Yeah, but see, that's it. If somebody was going to do research or somebody that didn't really.
Marshall's, he's here to shit on everybody. No aliens, no recovery, no spaceships. It's alive from the beginning till the end. Okay. All right.
That's pretty much to the point, right?
Yeah.
Solar, come on, join in.
Yeah, come on. He's probably at work
anybody,
right now.
Anybody really.
It's like those bunch of Roswell nutters.
Yeah,
well, that's it. You know.
I also wanted to mention that there's, everybody told me this when I said I was going to take a few weeks off. Everybody that has a show says you can't do that, and I'm like, what do you mean? And a whole bunch of people that have been doing this a lot longer than me said your views will drop to nothing if you take a few weeks off. And I said, no, I don't think that'll happen. But they were all right. The views have dropped in like half of what they were before I took a break. So apparently the YouTube algorithm doesn't like you to get off of that hamster wheel for a little while. It doesn't like it just pulls you out of all of the search rankings that you were so much higher. You take that time off, they just go, he's not making content and throw you out.
That's why they say you should make some videos and leave them in the queue and have them scheduled.
Oh, I did. Release. I had those older Midnight Hour show episodes that we did a few a week, but that apparently wasn't enough to keep the AI algorithm happy. You know,
the algorithm knows, man. It knows.
They know when you're live and all that stuff. So
we have the modern alchemists, Burn Eye Minds.
Oh, hey.
They changed the avatar again. It used to be Mind's Eye. What is it now?
Burn Eye, Mind's Third Eye, Science Guy. Originally, it was
you're ripping off Bill Nye.
No, come on. It's a pun. It's a punny time.
I see him going nuts on Twitter, man, all the time. It's hilarious.
Quickly, is it? To interject, then I'll shut up and mute myself. The first time we did an interview, it was Bernard Conkin, my real name, and my first channel. Then YouTube deleted that for some reason, claiming porno of all things. Then my second channel was Crypto Alchemist. did really good on that. They deleted that 2 weeks ago.
Dude, you were drinking mysterious drinks, man. What do you think?
I know, yeah. This guy
I
comes
now
on my
have a
show.
disclaimer: do not
hey,
try at
Got some kind of
home.
bottle full of
Do not
chemicals, and he's
consume.
like, "Oh, I'll drink it right now," and he did.
I
I'm
know. Oh,
like, "We do
God.
not support or condone drinking chemicals here."
No, do not give yourself heavy metal poisoning. Do not try it at home. You will die.
Man, that was crazy though. That's crazy. I wouldn't be doing that. But it's perfectly safe, right? Yeah, but look, YouTube's really touchy about a lot of different avenues.
I just can't believe
I
it.
mean-
We really did drop in views in live
Yeah,
viewers
well,
and in playbacks in half in 3
Yeah,
weeks.
and
We
you
would
know what
say-
also happens is when somebody watches your video, you know that right bar? Now, if you're consistent, you'll have more things in that right bar that's suggested. If you're not consistent and you only do once every 2 months or something, you won't come up in that so often. So,
yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep doing our thing.
No,
here, and
right.
eventually
You
we'll
need
get
a
the
break, man. You
momentum
need a break.
back. But
yeah,
I needed to do that.
For instance, Jeremy Reese, the alien scientist, he's also kind of been busy with his regular work and only done like a stream every week or two the past month. And it's like he's got 110,000 subscribers, yet about the same amount of live viewers per stream as you do. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, it could also be that everybody and their grandmother started a UFO show. Ron from Cosmic Neighbors is the latest. Everybody's like, "Oh, this is easy. I could do a show about UFOs too. If Steve Cambion could do good doing this, he's an idiot. I got to be able to do this." Right?
No, if I would have seen all you guys before that, I would have never started one. Let me tell you that. Like that.
No, I'm busting his balls. But really, Ron, isn't there's so many shows about UFOs now?
There is, but it's the truth. The thing is, I remember I always wanted to talk about it. Then when I started it, and then I realized all these things popping up. The thing is this, it's not like UFOs are landing every other day that there's news to talk about. So it's like you have to recycle stuff or the people create drama and all this shit. So that's why I go to doom and gloom stuff too. I talk about like when the asteroids are going to smack us and everything. And I talk about other stuff also. There's true stuff. Like I'm talking about the ones that come close and everything. But the UFO thing, it's not easy, man.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
I've
easy.
said this. I think that the people that are doing 5 and 6 shows a week about UFOs, they're on the take. They are stealing from their audience because there's not that much to talk about.
And
really
half
isn't.
of their videos come from video games. They're just digital BS for you.
or they're from 200 years ago. I mean,
Speaking
and that
of
people have seen
speaking
them
of people that piss me off by starting their own UFO show, we have
God.
Andy here from
Andy.
across the pond. Welcome,
I was
Andy.
thinking of wearing my muscles shirt as well, but I decided not to.
Oh, I have this on. You can't see it. It says "Life is better at the cabin." My wife just gave me this.
It
I
looks
love
great. It looks great.
Yeah,
Is there a figure behind that?
Truth
Can I ask?
right there.
Is there a mannequin behind you? Behind
No,
that fire?
No, I don't think so.
It looks like there's some.
Oh, I can solo myself so everybody can see. No, it's like
It's not.
It's the cabin behind me.
Yeah, but by the window, it looks like someone's sitting
No.
there.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, it
A
does.
creepy.
No, that's
Yeah,
scene
it's like-
there.
She's a bush.
It
does.
That's just logs or something inside.
It is logs,
Yeah.
but it looks like a couple small ones like legs and a couple smaller
the
ones like
Joshua
arms,
tree.
big one like
The
a giant
Joshua
That was
tree.
your family watching you from afar.
No, they're in the middle room there. They're staying in there. I gotta lock them in. My oldest son is autistic, and it's my wife and I's biggest fear that he gets out here because we're in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, of course.
And if he were to get out and just start walking, you're never gonna
Yeah,
find him in the
never gonna
woods.
find him.
So we
Yeah.
have all these locks and stuff to keep him in. Yeah.
How old is he, Stephen, if you don't mind me asking?
10 years old.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but he recently got out at our home.
Pete Baker.
And at first I got blamed for it because my wife thought I left 2 doors open. And I go, no way would I leave these doors open. He figured out how to get past our old stuff, which was spinner knobs and stuff like that.
Wow.
So he figured out how to unlock the door to the garage and then unlock the other door to the garage that goes outside. And he just took a walk up the block. But the cops came and somebody called the cops because he wasn't responding. And then But the cops found my wife right away because she was screaming so loud from down the block looking for him. So there was a big scare. And now we got deadbolts with keys.
Yeah.
So he's not getting through that, but you know.
And you got to be careful with that, because if you got to run out or get out, you got to make sure they're accessible.
Yeah,
and
no,
all that.
we have a fire plan already for all that. So, and extra keys and whatever, and yeah.
Steven's got the
A
plans.
couple quick UFO questions. On the topic of Roswell, right after Roswell, or a couple years after, was the famous White House or Oval Office flyover that happened after Admiral Byrd's trip with Operation High Jump. Can I first get your opinions on that? And then second question is about the new Pentagon UAP videos of not the Tic Tacs, but the ones they recorded from Apaches and the A-10 Warthog, I believe. There's a couple new ones.
I think those latest videos were clearly not UFOs. One was clearly a bird, right?
Birds.
You zoomed in, and I think the other one was birds too. So we have a proliferation of people. And by the way, those videos were hyped up, and people had to pay money to attend a conference to see those early or something.
Really?
Those were garbage.
I swear to God, I thought they made that from Microsoft Flight Simulator. I swear that's what I thought they did.
Right?
But the problem with those videos, the real problem with those videos was that anybody on YouTube could have taken that video and just zoomed in on the object and seen flapping immediately. And no, this is a bird. I shouldn't sell this at a UFO conference. But that's not what the person did. They hyped it up, saying that they had witness testimony. It couldn't be birds and all this shit. Wow. And literally bird experts have looked at that now and said, that's a flapping bird.
Pentagon ones?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to recommend to you, Steve, I'll put you in contact. If you know Michael Boyd from APEC, he's a third generation aerospace engineer. I know
who he is. I don't know him. Yeah.
He went in depth into the video, and he's found several anomalies within the videos, but it's that not necessarily a bird, but not UFOs or Tic Tac sort of technology, more plasma orbs. And he goes through and connects some of the SOHO satellites of from the sun. What the heck is it called when it does the burst thing?
CMEs, the solar flares.
The CME and the solar flares happen at the same day. Both or all three of those new videos came. He checked the areas and he related it to it. I won't go too much in depth, but it definitely would make a good episode for you to do, Steve.
Well, I'll take a look at it, but I'm convinced if they're the two videos I'm thinking of that they were both birds. I mean, if you see a white object and you see clear flapping, it doesn't make me think plasma. I've seen plasma.
This was not the ones
then maybe we're talking about different videos that I haven't seen.
Different ones.
Yeah.
But how many of them are actually something that they don't? And here it is. How many of the ones that the people that promote this shit as real know damn well they aren't real, but yet they promote them anyways? I think the ratio to that compared to something, well, we really don't know what it is huge. It's 100 to 1, easy, you know.
Well, I don't know. These conferences are a grift, really, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's
a scam. It's a
lot
scam.
of them.
Even the conference organizers. If I was running a UFO conference, and somebody brought me those videos and said, "Hey, we can make this a part of your conference. People could pay extra to get in to see these," I would look at the videos. Yeah, I would look at the videos first, and I would say, "These are most likely birds. I'm not going to scam people. I'm not going to profit off of something."
But they're in the same game, though. They're in the same game, right? They want to make money as well.
It's that old thing. Don't screw up my grift, and I won't screw up
don't ask questions. Just, present your shit. Yeah.
And the worst part is when somebody points it out and other people do, you always got to have those few that just argue to argue. They know it's fake, but they just want to keep on trolling and arguing and dragging it on and dragging it on. And then, as soon as Doorbell gets involved, he's going to be on the news in about 3 days on every channel like that.
Well, and you also got to remember that a lot of those people arguing are the people themselves hiding behind sock puppet accounts. I'm convinced of it. You know, listen, nobody cares that much. Nobody cares that much about Jeremy Corbell's journalistic integrity to go on Twitter and defend his journalistic integrity. That's bullshit. That's Jeremy Corbell hiding behind a sock puppet.
I bet you the majority are government bots, that like those NSA bots just trolling, supporting their narrative of their guy, right? It's not probably not even real people.
No, and if you ever check them, just look at them real quick. You'll see they have 12 followers, 4 followers, 16, like that.
Yeah, some of them are true believers,
and usually brand new Twitter accounts.
Yeah, signed up in
the
2022.
The thing that video that Ross Coulthart shared, he came out and said, "I'm sorry, it was fake." There's still people passing around like it's real, just like ignore that.
Even
they ignore that he even admitted that he got duped.
Yeah, the thing is, people will latch onto a story for years and stick with it, and they don't want to veer off from it. They just want to believe, and that's it. You can't argue. It's like almost like a religion,
You're right, Andy. Even when they know damn well it's been debunked a billion times and that the evidence is out there that this is just not real, they still will push
like I say, it's a religion. It's like a religion.
Yeah,
dude. Last year when I made that video about Doorbell, about the pyramid thing, and I said I believe that that's a drone, right? And because it does have the bokeh effect. That was like a month after he released the video. And that's when I got that message. Somebody saying, what you call it?
Oh, yeah.
Your kid should die of cancer. My kid should die of cancer because I said that.
That's pathetic.
And nobody cares that much about Corbell's video. So
and I got corrected. I got seriously corrected in my comment section because they said it's not a triangle. It's a pyramid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But my kid should die of cancer because I had the crazy thought of saying that's probably a drone.
Keyboard warriors, what can you do?
See, that's not a real human.
And I got to remind myself, especially these Twitter.
Keats, all right, mate.
Especially these Twitter accounts where they're brand new. I have one arguing with me now about the Nick Pope story. No, because Wikipedia said he investigated UFOs. He had to have investigated UFOs. We showed all these government documents that proved he never investigated shit. He picked up the phone and then he forwarded the stuff to somebody who did the investigations. But because Wikipedia has a line in there, which is from his own bio that says he investigated
UFOs. He's a glorified secretary.
Then I'm a liar now because Wikipedia doesn't support my show. I stand by our reporting. And by the way, Nick Pope, who blocked me, replied to that and said that those documents were doctored or altered or
When did he block you, Stephen? When did he block you?
The first time I said he was full of shit. A year ago.
Now look at...
What do you expect when you have like the Daily Mail and places in the Sun calling him
Daily
a
Fail
UFO expert?
Man.
I just read an article today.
Smolder.
It says
and
expert.
When were the tabloids all of a sudden, the bearers of truth?
And it's a tabloid.
Media.
And that's it. Look at Daily Mail. You know what? I used to look at Daily Mail and look at it in a good light. And then I'm like looking, okay, there's like maybe 10% articles that might be real. But so much of it that is agenda driven or just complete bullshit. Like when I seen the Corbell one, I was like, oh my God, are you freaking kidding me that they're actually promoting this guy as if he must be because he's government and so on. I'll tell you what, when you see people like Corbell, like Lou Elizondo, or any of those freaking clowns, Linda Moulton Howe, I might as well include that clown in there too. You can be sure they are telling you bullshit 100% of the time. They're not being honest with you because look, I mean, what does Corbell have to gain from this, right? What does he have to gain from it? What does Linda Moulton Howe have to gain from this? What does Lou have to gain from it? Lou says, look, I don't make no money. Well, wait a minute. You just work for nothing? Is that what it is? You do nothing?
Don't the
but
government
then people
pay
find out later that you did make money.
Don't the government pay Elizondo?
On Linda Moulton Howe, I did an excellent interview 2 weeks ago with Eric Hecker, who actually spent a year working at the South Pole, and he completely destroys her little story of what's down there and goes into absolute depths of Like there are lots of suspicious things. There is a cave to nowhere, but there is in no way any signs of this mass archaeological dig or any.
You know what I see a lot too. I'm glad that you brought up.
That dude's interesting.
It's a pretty good indication that her source for that story gave a rank saying he was a Navy SEAL that is not a Navy rank. He gave an Army rank saying that he was a Navy SEAL. That's a good indicator.
Anybody in the military would know.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
That's just
or they double up
the
ranks.
It's like they're just desperate for the views and promoting this BS everywhere.
You know what?
Hey, look, burn.
What gets me is when people, obviously, I float around lots of these YouTube channels. Is when people state as fact that there are like 17 alien races, and these are these. You know, they live here and they live there, and they live. How the hell? I mean, they really believe this shit. I mean, I just. Believe.
You know what? I wanted to make mention of the Antarctica stuff. Now, anybody that really knows how satellites work and how the satellites that do the geomapping work, you're going to get, first of all, you're going to get the stitching. You're going to get the stitching. I don't care, just the way it is. It stitches. How many of those people pick out the stitches? A lot. But wait a minute. The stuff at the poles is it's like at such a low angle, you're going to get anomalies almost every single time. And only after like 30 passes will you be able to stitch it together and get something that looks kind of cool. You'll still have so many anomalies. So I'm glad you brought up the pole stuff, the South Pole stuff. The thing is that's not accurate to go by Google Earth and say, oh, look, it's a UFO. I mean, look at how many of those are actually like frozen lakes or just a rock form, but you're seeing it at such an angle.
Or digital anomalies, even.
Right. Or digital anomalies, and then the sun's hitting it and the shadows. You can't really trust anything on those because of the way that our satellites.
Glaciers, the amount of freezing, the good point of the lakes and ponds, and how ice and water will constantly be thawing, freezing
all
again,
the time.
like all the different things, like
all the time.
Mass light picture anomaly for sure.
Would Google Images?
I want to take a moment to thank Rick Zeitgeist for a kind of generous Canadian 10 spot. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. And we'll
Canada.
I didn't know that. Can you sing it? I don't know.
That's it. I'm thinking of South Park.
As a Canadian, I can, but I'm not going.
Trixie from Truth Seekers, thanking you for your generosity. I'm gonna praise the cash so hard, I'm gonna teleport myself on board a sexy tic-tac UFO. Thank you for your generosity.
Thank you, Trixie. Thank you.
And also, let me break in here because I have the perfect example of what Andy was talking about. Somebody sent this to me, and it's just so goddamn funny. It's Linda Moulton Howe doing a broadcast, and look how I want to show you how she labels one of her exhibits of evidence. Okay, we're gonna get to that. Hold on 1 second here. And I'm going to cite fair use. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public about Linda Moulton Howe and her standards of evidence. Okay. So here we go. This is her broadcast. And look, she's got this picture and it's labeled actual photograph of an orange gray.
Oh, an orange. I'd never heard of orange before.
Yeah. And her presentation is on maybe there's some grays that aren't gray. They're orange. Let's listen.
Range of the electromagnetic spectrum, or even more. Those lenses were a two-piece set of dark black elliptical eyepieces.
But I don't even want to listen to her. But what like in what world does she think that it's just okay to say this is an actual photograph of an orange gray alien?
Dude,
she's got the photo labeled copyright her. So she copyrighted this photograph so that if somebody else uses it,
right.
This is new.
This is brand new. Yeah, this is.
Holy crap!
Where was this taken?
Video game she would have learned.
The title: Do gray ETs actually have white-orange skin covered by gray nanotech exoskeletons?
Dude, I think
come on, it's such nonsense.
She has more species of aliens than anybody I know.
Yeah.
I mean, by far. by far. It's like, oh, there's the white grays, and then there's this, and there's
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Some are
Yeah,
bad
the tall
and some
grays,
are
the short
good.
grays.
The blue
What
grays,
the hell?
Yeah.
My
the red
God.
grays. Here's the thing: where does she explain where she got this picture from? And was
I
it
don't.
from
I haven't listened enough to know.
Okay.
Somebody sent me this as a timestamp and said, "I can't believe she labeled this as a real photograph of an alien because she's making money on YouTube. If she can't prove this is a real photograph of an alien, to me that's consumer fraud. Just like her selling behind a paywall a picture of an alien from a video game.
Well, there's no proof. We've had no proof ever. So I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
6th Sense. When you get a chance, and you cap that and do a reverse image search and see if we can find this.
Yeah.
Because
And
it
last
might
time
be
I
as
listened
simple as a
to,
movie or something.
Put the
Yeah.
link to it in the, or
Yeah.
is that send DM? Put the link in the private chat here.
All right, I'm
And
going to
then-
do
last
that
time I
right
listened to Linda, she had somebody.
I mean, I
on
can
her
do it right from here.
show
I think.
that
No, I
was
can't.
remote viewing the aliens that landed and met Eisenhower or something like that. It was wild. Remote viewing back into the past. It was
UFO
crazy.
John Doe. Wow.
Wow, look at that. UFO John Doe. And by the way, UFO John Doe is the MVP of the Roswell
God.
special event. He kept throwing money at us the whole time. And
Good
here's
guy.
one of the people who
Good
really
guy.
liked it. Thank you, UFO John Doe. He
Have
says,
you looked at our channel yet, John Doe? Well,
Shut up. Don't be taking my whales, Andy. He says, Stephen, congratulations on the Roswell Marathon special. I thought you did an amazing job. I can't imagine how many hours you put in. Small token of my appreciation, and hope it encourages others to throw in a few bones. Well, thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your support,
great. Well
and
done.
helping us to praise the cash,
This
friend.
is Trixie from Truth Seekers, thanking you for your generosity. I'm gonna praise the cash so hard. You are gonna need a cease and desist letter from your fake lawyer to make me stop.
Go, girl.
That, of course, is a reference to all the fake lawyers that have been contacting me lately for their clients.
All right.
You know,
okay,
we've been getting a bunch of them.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How's your
You
show?
too, man.
How's your show with Anthony actually going, Andy? And Ron? You got. Ron just started a new show, so.
Yeah,
let's
we're
hear
having
about it.
fun. We're having fun. You know, we've got a nice bunch of people. There's no fucking animosity. There's no, bashing people. We just want to have fun. Tell some stories. Show some videos. And just have a good time. We're not. It is UFOtainment, but we're fine with that. And
Well, technically, so is what I do. I don't have any illusions about that.
yeah, but we're not investigative like you. We're more sort of we like to just regurgitate old stories and show some of Anthony's footage and really have a laugh with the people that join the show. And
I tune in when I get a chance. It's always like interesting stuff and a good conversation.
we
and
just have fun.
and
Hey,
fun.
dude,
Yeah.
I already
I have
found
much
something.
respect
Hey.
for saying that, though, like that you're not claiming to try to be something other than
Such a
exactly
fucking
what
shame.
you are,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
power to
keeping
you.
it real. Just trying to
Yeah,
be honest
I
and
did it.
real. That's it.
I did a search just by taking a screen capture of what you have up there. Already, I found something from 2014 and something from 2017.
I heard you
She's a
cursing just now.
fucking fraud. What a freaking fraud! I'm gonna link it. Hold on. Oh, server not
Put the
found. So
link-
that one's old.
Yeah,
Hold
put the
on.
link in the live chat so we can try to see what
I
it is.
heard- I heard him curse
People
under
can
his
look
breath.
right here. What a
Yeah, I
fraud!
did too.
Yeah, look, in 2 minutes, we just debunked that this is a real
What a
picture of
fraud.
an alien. What a fraud she is.
It's
My
a real picture of a fake alien.
No, but listen, I do got to tell you this. I put this video. This video is titled. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. My vision is terrible. Do gray ETs actually have white orange skin covered by gray nanotech? And anyway, I put this video on, and I did watch 20 minutes of it or
Found it.
something. And I do have to say this. I know why she's so popular. She's very good
Fucking-
speaker, and she tells a great story. And if you're
Fake
just looking for a
bitch.
good story and you don't care if it's true or not, then she's very entertaining. I'll give her that. I will give her
Well,
that.
in her early
Yeah.
days, she had everyone.
Look at this
gripped,
one. This
she
one
had-
in 2014. Actually, she cropped it too, and she spun it a little bit. 2014. The let's see, exonologist.com. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
exonologist. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
went there actually. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The thing is, look, it's a mega dump. Look at what the title is. It's a mega dump of fake shit, probably. Oh my god. So how
Yeah,
can
but
she
I don't
copyright
understand then
that?
how can she take something straight off the internet and
fraud.
copyright it?
Fraud.
Yeah.
Well,
good
maybe
question.
I think it's an old
As
website. So
does
she
Corey
probably
Good,
thinks.
as does David Wilcock, as does Stephen Greer and Linda Moulton Howe. Like, how do all of them have like 1,000 people watching every time, able to do all these copyrights? It's like they're definitely these paid gatekeeper trolls. There's just no other way.
Jeez,
Big tech
crazy.
supporting them, like instead of how it shadow bans all of us.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
should copyright Project Serpo.
Okay,
and
then you go
charging
a
her every
further
time she
search.
talks about it.
Look, you go to further search. Now you take that picture that I found from Mega, the Mega dump there, and then put that in there too. And there's another 4 hits. So the thing is most of them are from 17, 17, and 19. The thing, exonologist. Oh, same.
Yeah.
I think
it's pronounced Zeon.
Okay,
I think.
I'll tell you just how I did this. The picture that he's got up there on the screen, I copied the screen, I cropped it out just to the picture, and I sent that to Tanai, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
And that's what
same.
you get. So it's
same
that
thing.
easy. It's that easy to debunk these assholes. I'm sorry.
Stephen, are you going to write her a new email, Stephen?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You should let us all digitally sign it from all the other channels. We all sign it. Like, that's it.
What a fraud.
I'm going to tell her too. Remember me? I'm the guy that sent in that question that made you lose your goddamn
she hates
mind
you.
on the podcast, Kurt's podcast. Yeah.
I think what she's done is drop the picture into Google Images, and if it doesn't show up, she thinks she's getting away with it. Basically,
Disgusting.
It's
And
so
that she'll
easy.
use her. I've been an esteemed journalist for 35 years, and all this crap she does.
Yeah. I enjoyed, in the early days when, Greer
right.
and she was around and I was younger, and I thought, wow, these people are amazing. They're really doing great work. But over the recent years, you realize that they're just full of shit.
You know what the funniest thing is that when we were talking and Six was looking for it, you hear real low, I heard, son of a bitch, motherfucker, like that. And it was because he found it. He started cursing. I don't know if you knew it, but you said that out loud. It was the funniest thing. But it's that simple to do. I was doing a reverse on the domain, but it comes up as Namecheap, like some thing in
Yeah, that's who.
Yeah, I got to mention this too. I keep getting complaints. I keep getting complaints from the ladies because we have these hot chicks and we don't have hot dudes. But here's what I will say: go try to find. No, well, come on. They want these beefcake dudes like Chippendale dancers. Go as a producer and try to find green screen images of beefy or videos that you could buy of beefy dudes dancing. You can't buy any.
Hey, I've got a hard drive full of them, mate.
If you try to buy girls dancing, you can buy hundreds of collections of girls dancing. So I'm looking. If I have to, I have a green screen. I'm going to hire some big beefy dude to come to my house and dance, but my wife can't be home at the time because I don't like competition.
And she might get suspicious.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that. You don't walk in and there's a guy dancing in the living room for you.
Yeah, dance
I know.
Me,
I have to explain that. It's for the show. I'm not gay. Oh, UFO John Doe. I wanted to mention to UFO John Doe and everybody else that gave. I think we said it was the cap was $30 or more for the Roswell event, or going forward. I have those Roswell replica wreckage pieces. Just email me. I'm going to find my. Let's see. My email is truthseekershow@gmail.com. If you just email me your mailing address, I've got everything in an envelope. Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to mail everybody off their free gifts. Here's my email address, UFO John Doe. Just make sure that you give me your full mailing address like you would give it to somebody shipping you something from eBay or Amazon or whatever. And I promise to everybody that we're not sharing anybody's address or anything nutty like that. I'm just going to put it on the envelope and send you your free gift. And thanks so much, John Doe. Very, very generous of you. Big supporter of the show. Yeah, he's our new whale. Everybody keep away from him. We need him.
He's my new best friend.
He's my new best friend.
No.
Hey, what does anybody think? What does anybody? I don't know. Can you hear me? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, you can. All right. I didn't know. I switched headphones. What do you think about the Travis Taylor stuff? You know, him being the head of the UAPT,
well, he was
whatever it was.
unofficial,
You know,
so who cares?
unofficial.
He's
like
good friends with George Knapp as well, isn't he?
It's like some of these guys in the Pentagon just circle jerk each other off, pretending to be investigating UFOs while they have other jobs or something. Like, he wasn't officially working for the Pentagon. Somebody just said, "Hey, do you want to be a science head of this group we're forming?" And he said yes. I don't think any money was exchanged. There's no documents showing that he actually studied anything. And by the way, here's another skinwalker profiteer coming in and claiming to be some big shot for the government or investigating UFOs for the government. It's all related.
He did study the TTSA materials in his garage. Dave Beatty put out a thread about that where he talked to him about it, I guess in a Facebook group or something, and he posted it. He posted all the receipts where he talked about borrowing equipment from the Army because they didn't want to touch it or take it because of the stigma and all that and the optics of it.
Well, there's a whole thing of that because according to TTSA documents, they got paid more than $1 million to do some kind of study of that material for the Army. So did Tom DeLonge and him get paid $1 million to work on something in his garage? Because if so, I have a problem with that as a taxpayer. You know?
Yeah, man.
I think I saw also that TTSA deleted that video of like Elizondo and Putoff and all those people talking to the crowd. You know,
the original.
there was no crowd.
The CIA reunion.
Yeah, but we have copies. I'm going to post a copy of it here, actually, now that you mention it. I'm going to say, for history's sake, you can't delete this off the internet. We'll put it here.
You know, I remember when Travis Taylor was on Ancient Aliens years ago. And he was like, I'm not a believer in UFOs at the time. UAPs hadn't been invented at that point. And now he's seeing UAPs all over the place on Skinwalker Ranch. He seems to be a believer now. So
that's, I don't know. Now, I don't want to jump on that bandwagon and everybody hated on him or they like him.
Oh, no, I've got
no. I'm just thinking it's just that, like, it just is a little strange because, like, now anything I thought about, and it's not just because it's Travis Taylor. It's that if any kind of research they were doing, anytime a government person's now involved, I feel that anything of significance won't ever make it out.
Yeah,
it'll just be that's it.
Similar to the Galileo project, right? You know, now
as soon as they announced that they were letting certain people on, that's it. That project's done.
Yeah, the conflict of interest are wild, man. Like the conflict of interest and it's crazy.
Serious. It is.
It really is.
Look. I want to. Who was that? Oh God, now I got to remember his freaking name there. Loab.
Avi Loeb. Yeah.
I did a research on him years and years ago and stuff, and that was when that was the Oumuamua. Now the thing, then that's just what I found was a conflict of interest. He was he was the chair for a solar light sale business or a company or corporation or whatever for obviously for that reason. So why wouldn't he just push that Oumuamua was being propelled by this and stuff? You know, there was so much things. The thing is when you look on the NASA stuff, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like, the first they originally said it did look like a cigar shape, and then they said, well, it's more like a blob. Well, here's the thing, though. There is a conflict of interest, and I thought for a little while there that Avi Loeb actually come clean, you know, and he wasn't speaking of the solar sail stuff until like not so long ago. A couple weeks ago, I seen some video on him, and I was like, dude, you're coming back with this again? Here it is. Are you still the chair? I should really check. Are you still the chair for that company that is looking to get funding for these solar sails? And that's it. It comes down to money. Follow the money.
That's what it is.
I mean, how many times is that so true? You know?
Yep. It
And
is
so,
the truth.
so when I heard Avi Loeb in that, and I was like, "Oh God, really? Are you kidding me?" And then they had a couple other jokers, and I'm like, "Oh, really? It's got to be for
Wait, let me.
it's for money or funding or just disinformation, one or the other or both."
When you're talking about the videos about him pushing solar sails and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
I can link it here. I can find the link
but
for it.
was that? I'm just curious. Would that have been around 2014?
Oh, when he was the chair. That's a good question. Let me find the link. It'll take me a minute, but I document all this shit.
There's a paper that was held back from being peer reviewed. The government held it back. It was Avi Loeb and a student at Harvard released a paper in 2014 about an interstellar object that landed in pieces into the Pacific Ocean, and then now they're connected it to that it was probably pieces from a Oumuamua. So this started in 2014. Mm-hmm.
And
Okay,
were you asking to see if they could find it or locate it, Ron? I think you were talking about it on our show.
Now, see, the thing is with Avi Loeb, if you look into his past, none of the professors there liked him. They're like, he's freaking rogue, man. I mean, I can understand, and this is his own words. It was like, you gotta look out of the box. I can see that, and I can totally agree with that. That don't just deal with what we have that's set in stone, right? I can totally agree with that. But everything he says is like totally contradictory to the laws of physics. That we know it. I mean,
you know what you got to keep in mind with Avi Loeb is that he's an astrophysicist, which basically means he's a college teacher. They don't make that much money. So don't you think that like after he tasted some of this alien money with that first book,
right,
he went all chips in because that first book was a bestseller. Like he made probably a few million on that first book. And if you're making $150,000 a year, and suddenly you got a couple $1 million payday, you're gonna gravitate towards whatever got you that payday. So now he got chips in on the aliens, man.
All the free publicity on every friggin' news network talking about what a better way to push your book.
Yeah. Well, hey, but talking about books, what's happened to Lou's book? I thought it would be out by now.
I think it'll be out after I think it'll be out 6 months after
really?
New NDAA is signed with the immunity stuff, so he can brag about what he did to cause all this.
And we'll just get some breadcrumbs
because
again.
He's talking about he said when the book comes out, it'll explain so everyone will understand why I did what I did.
You're right, because anybody with clearance, anybody with an elevated clearance needs to first send that book through. And it happens in the upper echelons of government. You have to send that to the government to go review and see, hey, are you giving up secrets?
Yeah.
So
everything. Right. Yeah.
You have to get it reviewed first.
Well, and redacted, and a lot of it being redacted, no doubt, as well.
Oh, right, yeah. Watch this. His book is 99% redacted.
Black lines.
You put 3 words.
Lines. Yeah.
You know, it's going to be funny. After the Top Gun movie came out, I don't know if anybody saw the Top Gun movie or saw that hypersonic plane, the Dark Star. China actually repositioned satellites to watch Lockheed build it because they thought it was a real plane. So my thought is, what if all this is like with TTSA and Lou is just to get access to be able to build prop planes for Hollywood? He said, Lou has complained about only one company is allowed to do all this stuff, and Lockheed builds all these fake planes for these crazy. It's just a crazy conspiracy thought that I had.
Well, not only that, but the aerospace companies suck billions and trillions of dollars out of the U.S. budget for planes that never make it to production.
Yeah.
Look up the A-12 Avenger, amazing plane, but they never produced more than a flight test prototype for it, or several, like maybe 2 or 3 planes. Trillions of dollars from the budget, and they never.
I still want to know what happened with the trillions that went missing just before 9/11. Notice how that's never been brought up again.
Here,
Yeah.
I went ahead and I found that link where Avi Loeb is named the chairman of Breakthrough Starshot Advisory Committee at Harvard University. Now, and if you look at that, he's the chair for this, and they were accepting. There's other links within there that you can look at too. But here's the thing: look, you're promoting this thing while at the same time you are the chair of something that can benefit from this. You know, and this is here's the deal
Yeah,
with
it's a huge
YouTube.
conflict of interest.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
here's the thing with YouTube. I'll tell you just what happened with this video. I go ahead and just because I said a few choice words about him being a piece of shit, right? All of a sudden it's
Few choice
harassment or
words, yeah.
something or fucking something stupid. And I'm like, are you shitting me? I mean,
Watch the
granted, okay.
F-bombs. Watch the F-bombs. I might lose 17
Jesus,
pennies
I know.
because I'll get
My
demonetized because you said the F word.
But
I need those
that's what I-
pennies. God damn it.
Even though I'm promoting truth and I'm showing people and I link everything, it doesn't matter.
They
It
wanna
doesn't
know.
even matter.
They don't want to know.
They don't want people to know. Apparently, you know. So here it is. I document so much shit, you know, and people think that they're going to get away. I'll go. Oh, you wanted a date on that? I don't have. Let's see.
So don't go crazy. But if
Okay.
whenever you do come by to something, just think take
Yeah.
note if it was like 2014 or something like that.
Yeah, when did he originally do it? Right? Yeah, I don't have that. But here's the thing, though. You know, once I heard his freaking name, he says, "No way, that's no way. This guy is in on that." But like Steven said, you know, once he got the taste of that blood, oh yeah, there you go, game over. How often does
I do
that
have
happen?
to say this, though. I have to say this in his defense. He gives some very compelling scientific evidence that Oumuamua is not just a rock floating through the solar system.
But
He does give some
that's
good
true
evidence.
though.
He's smart. Yeah, he's
because-
intelligent.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. First of all, he's like head of the astronomy and all that in Harvard. But
Yeah.
the thing is this, right? So with Oumuamua, that's traveling at a little over 100,000 miles an hour, right? But now it passes. We didn't take notice of it. So now when it makes its orbit around the sun and it's headed back out, they don't speed up. This thing sped up.
Yeah.
Okay. And with no notable signs of some will just say, because a lot of scientists like stick in one realm, right away labeled him, oh, he's one of those nuts or whatever. And they just said, oh, it must be a comet without no proof or nothing. They just said it's a comet.
Okay. Think of it like this. All right. Okay. Now these rocks in space have gases in them and stuff. Now think of it like this, and it did pass by the sun really, really close. Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
Right, so it heated up. Now all the gas is starting to escape. So why not think that that's the reason why it propelled further?
No. I know what you're getting at.
I don't have the numbers on it, but
but here's the thing. I get what you're saying there, because I thought of the slingshot effect. I thought about the gases with the sun and everything. It's
Even
a
with
couple of
slingshot.
things. First of all, the comet thing. Why is the comet as close as that thing came? I don't think it would have made it. But here, when I say sped up, it's not that it came around the sun and just started. No, it was going. And as it was going, remember the vacuum of space, right? Now this is way after it's gone, and then sped up, and then slowed down.
Yeah, but you still have Newton's law. It still
no.
takes
But here's the thing with that. I understand that, but with the vacuum of space, when you speed up, right? Now, for you to stop, you need, that old saying about a reaction has an opposite or whatever. Well, it's the same thing. Yeah, so it's the same thing. When you sped up, there's nothing going to stop that and slow it down unless it hits something or something
interacts
comes
with it.
out. Exactly. So that's the thing. It was doing weird stuff. You know what I mean? Now,
you could slow it down in a radiation belt or something like
now,
that.
do I think that was an alien probe? I don't think that's what it may have been. But then again, this is the one thing I think about, right? So, because we say, oh, this sounds silly, but nothing's really silly. It's this. You know how we experiment? And we have the little petri dishes, right? And we look at these tiny little microbes that they're
Microscopic.
right, so small and everything, and
They're
we
moving.
could do it.
and they're
What's
moving.
this? What's this? And they don't have no idea where they are. At least we don't think they do, right? What's to say we're not in a petri dish?
Yeah, I've heard that.
I've thought of that.
I've heard that before. In fact, I think there's a Twilight Zone episode about that.
Yeah, we
You know, and I've heard it before too, and I've thought of this. And trust me, I do look outside the box at times, and I've always been interested in physics ever since I was a little child. Stars, the planets, the solar system, the universe in general, right? So I've always been into that. Now the thing is I've thought, and at one point, and I still can't prove it, but I've thought, look. If you look at the molecule, right? Okay, you got electrons flying around a mass, right? The neutrons and protons. Okay, now what's that? How is that any different than our Earth with a moon or our Earth around the sun? I mean, it's kind of the same general concept, but on a much extremely large scale. I mean,
at least to us it is large, right?
To us.
I can't prove that we are, like you said, we are in the petri dish, and trust me, I've thought of that, but I can't prove it. So my thought is a theory, and I can't say it is truth.
It's similar to the whole Matrix idea as well, that we're living a simulation. You know,
but
sometimes it feels like it, dude. Sometimes
but the reason
feels like it.
the reason I say the petri dish too is like, you know, when we see all these, like Andy, it's funny, he just said that, like the Matrix, we see all these little kinks when we talk about, or maybe something from a dimension popped in, or we see it's these weird things happen, these phenomena and stuff. That could be the little parts of, like, and of course, you know, not so anybody out there, I don't mean literally we're in a petri dish, but then again, you never know. But I'm just saying, it's like we may be microscopic to some other entity, and these things that we see could just be, I don't know. It's just that it's hard to think about it because, like, you know, we're
concept.
Well, it's another dimension, right? It's another sort of layer of dimensions that we could be, you know, we can't see.
But it's just space is so big.
But look at the likelihood of there being microscopic life in the universe is probably astounding. The numbers are probably saying it's out there somewhere, but I can't find it, and I can't find it in my heart, and not just in my brain. That there's something that looks similar to us, even close to us. I mean, look at the depths of the ocean. Those creatures, they don't even look real. They don't even look real. So what's the chance something from 40 million light years away, you know?
But it's also crazy that we only know like 10% of the oceans. Why are we going into space when we haven't actually explored the rest of our planet?
It's more dangerous.
That's careful, man. That you're gonna have that flat earther pop in here. He's gonna start talking about flat Earth again.
Not gonna go that extreme, but
I shouldn't mention it.
As for hominids, anthropology, you know, like sorry, about to swear. And anamorphic, the figures like in Egypt and whatnot, where it's half human, half animal and stuff that. It's been throughout cultures for a very long time. So that is it just their fictional drawings, or did they actually experience things that are bipedal like us? Who really knows, right?
Yeah,
maybe they did. I would think if they were going to find something in an archaeological dig, as far as like some crazy technology, I would think it would be in the ocean, like under the ground, because the oceans have shifted and continents have shifted.
I agree, and we've had the ice age and the melting of the
ice. Yeah. I mean, I would think it would be deep underwater, maybe.
What about that map of was it Antarctica, where there was an old map?
Curie Reese map from Turkey 500 years ago, and it shows Antarctica before there was ice. Actually,
it was like it was tropical almost. Apparently,
I have that too.
Maybe the guy guessed. Maybe he was guessing. That is crazy.
Probably copied off of older pre-cataclysm maps or societies or something like that. There's a lot of good research out there on all the old maps and how consistent they were with these anomalies and covering things like North, South, and Antarctica long before they were supposedly found, and that there were these ruins of like cities and settlements in a lot of these places like in Siberia and stuff, that no longer exist, but were possibly settled in a time before that. Because when you go into Google Earth in these spots, nowadays you can actually see these ruins essentially in the same places that they were marked on these 500,000-year-old maps claiming to have cities, as well as the Sahara, where they 500 years ago the maps have these rivers and settlements there too, where it's now desert, but they say it was 5,000, 10,000 years ago there was a jungle there. So there must have been a crazy reset at some time, whether it was Noah's flood or the Younger Dryas event, Atlantis. It seems to be ingrained.
Like about 11, 12,000 years ago.
Well, apparently, there's a theory that it's cyclical. That we develop, we get to a certain point, and then shit happens, and we have to start all over again, basically.
And since the Younger Dryas, I think the oceans have risen about 400 feet or something like that.
Could it just be? Could it just be? Look, I mean, obviously we have much more to explore on this earth than we've explored. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, we've only explored a small percentage of it. What's to say that the government, okay, not that they're lying or they're telling you UFO is bullshit or aliens are bullshit, but look, why don't we spend our time on something that's locally instead of something we don't have no idea what the hell's out there? And not to mention the sheer number. Look, if everybody was to offer their sighting to the government, right? Imagine the numbers. I mean, the first day would probably be 1 trillion freaking videos or pictures or something ridiculous. I mean, so for them to even deal with that, if they can't even deal with our own Earth, how the hell are they going to deal with something that's way out of our reach?
It's like, how many times we're going to send rovers to Mars? Now we're flying drones on Mars, but like,
I see that.
Why can't we, like you said, explore the oceans? I know, I understand there's pressures and everything, but man,
hang on, the sea is just as complicated to explore as space is. It's
dangerous.
It sounds more like they don't want to.
Yeah, but astronauts,
that's what I'm getting at.
Astronauts, they have to when they're training, they go underwater, right? To simulate being in space.
Yep.
You can't go to the bottom of the ocean and get out of the submarine like you can get out on the moon.
I understand there's like pressure,
the conditions
are water pressure and stuff
like
that.
I'm saying it's easier. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's easier to go to the moon and do some of this stuff in space than it is to go down that deep.
But the thing is that right now maybe we just don't have to get out and do it. It's like when this guy went down to the Mariana Trench. I think that's 13, whatever, 1,000 feet down or whatever. Like, if we're able to fly drones on Mars and all that, why don't we just create some high pressure stuff and send it down, and let's just, because you ever see, like every night I'll see this live streaming, the Nautilus. It's right, and it's just awesome. Like, it's undersea, they're doing discoveries and that, but that's to a certain depth. If they could do stuff like that, and I mean, not have to sacrifice.
And it's probably
we'll save a lot on gas. I'll tell you that. Fuel.
I think James Cameron holds the world
That's
record
it.
for the deepest.
The Mariana Trench.
And it took a long time, and it was crazy expensive, but I'm sure it wasn't expensive as going to the moon.
Look, how many times have you seen this too? Now they got the NASA Artemis scheduled, I believe, in 2024, right? I believe it's 2024. How many? And that would be beautiful to do, but how many times have they dumped it just before the launch? Like, shortly before the launch. I mean, for the last 4 or 5 times,
it's Psych, that asteroid.
I just want to mention to UFO John Doe, especially since he was our biggest supporter for the UFO Roswell event and biggest super chatter tonight. I did get your email. It went to my spam folder. I marked it as not spam. I have your address, and I will be sending you both the Roswell thing and some extra free goodies as well. Thanks so much for your kindness, your generosity, and support.
You know what sucks about that? One is that just proves to me Steven put my email in spam. All right. and two is nice to meet you, UFO John Doe. I just so you know, I have a show tomorrow at 12 noon.
No, he doesn't.
No, so,
No.
but you just said that, Six, about like how they stop things right before a mission. So I had just talked about on a video about asteroid Psyche. It's a asteroid that's almost made out of all gold, like that, right? And
Is that
that
for
they spent.
radiation?
No, they're going to check because they're trying to say it's a planetesimal. Like they're thinking that's what it is. Like in other words, how the core and everything. It could have been a core from a planet. How planets
Oh, and it's
are
all gold.
made.
I thought you were talking about a spacecraft. You're talking about a
It's an actual asteroid, and the
that's
asteroid
all
belt.
gold, right?
Oh, yeah, it's full of gold. Yeah,
It's the majority is gold. And now what happened is they were supposed to go this year. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars that they said wasn't taxpayers. It was donated. Yeah. Now all of a sudden, because of some O-ring or something, that's got pushed back now to next year. And all those hundreds of millions, guess what? That gets redirected to some other whatever crap, and then there'll be hundreds of millions more, and it just keeps going on. But
I think that maybe we should explore asteroids because at least they're achievable. At least we can sample them and stuff like that. But to grab something like gold, imagine how much gold they would get. They wouldn't get the amount
they'll
of gold.
destroy the market. They'll crash the market here.
No. What I'm saying is
the weight as well. It's
the weight,
heavy.
right? How are you going to get off that thing and get it back? It's going to cost you more to get it back than it is to
Because
go
of the way
get it.
Drop the parachutes.
the way
You guys
space
are all
works,
wrong.
you just need a tiny bit of thrust, and you can move a whole asteroid long
You're all
period.
wrong.
Yeah, but that's
it's
what
like
I've
that
seen.
Netflix
The
movie that
Anunnaki
just released where they crash that asteroid into Earth trying to get the gold off of it.
Nah, man.
No.
Oh
You think
yeah, I remember
the
that
Anunnaki,
movie. Yeah.
man. The Anunnaki
I'll tell you
ain't gonna
what,
let
though.
us get it. Come on.
I'll tell you
Anunnaki
what,
need the
though.
gold.
I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised because even if, like, let's say they did mine it, right? And I understand, not saying bringing back like 90 million tons. I'm just saying they did mine it. A lot of the Earth's gold dealers and all that would be crapping bricks because that would totally decimate the market on that. Because gold will go from 1,200-1,300 an ounce to nothing.
I would
Yeah,
tell
it's
you what I
expensive
would
because
mine
of
it.
its
Wires,
rarity.
though.
If we suddenly had hundreds of tons of it, it would not be worth
worthless.
as much anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
They
worthless,
just
but
wouldn't
yeah.
sell it. They
I'll
would
tell
use
you
it for
what I would
chips
mine an asteroid for. I would mine an asteroid for unknown stuff that we don't have. Because if you look at the periodic table, there's a bunch of missing spots. Now if you look at it, there's only so many spots that are possible. Just period. There's only so many spots. And that's the thing. That's why, like, when you had these people coming up with these imaginary freaking materials, there's no way that could even fit into the elemental.
What's on the moon?
table of
Isn't there
elements.
some kind of dust, moon dust or something?
Actually, the moon is, I believe, titanium. A lot of it is titanium.
But there's
I
something
thought it was
else
made of
on the
cheese.
moon. The material
Also,
on-
hydrogen-3, I think it is H3. That's
Yeah,
for
and that could
fuel.
be an energy
Fuel.
source.
For
Yeah.
fuel, yeah, and they are, I did see some stories about that too as well, and I think that, you know what, we should be using the moon as a launch a vector or from a rendezvous point. You know, if you're going to go to Mars, don't just take off from the Earth. There goes 80% of your freaking fuel right there. You know, and then everything else is like, I mean, that's the problem with conventional fuels. If we could go, like Andy said, and mine a moon or something for, you know, for fuel, why not? I think that's a good idea. It would take a while, but at least you
Did
could.
you see
I think
that?
it's possible.
Did you see NASA's worried that China is going to claim the moon?
What?
Bill Nelson was talking about it.
Clone it, you say?
China's gonna.
Yeah, why not? They
China's
clone
gonna claim
everything
the moon.
else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, China builds artificial moon for gravity experiment.
Yeah.
Shut up.
To go with the
You're
sun,
not
with that
kidding.
artificial sun.
They did you ever, any of you guys ever see that? It's on YouTube. It's a 4K video of I don't know if it's the China orbiter around the moon, but and it just like records, and it's just incredible, the footage.
The
like that.
backside of the moon as well, right?
It goes around the entire thing. It's just amazing. I had stopped and screenshotted a lot of stuff there because it's a lot of parts of the moon, you know, that we never see. We only see one side of it.
The Chang 5, I believe that is.
That's
Yep.
yeah. All I know is that sounds familiar, but I know
I don't know
the
how to
camera. It's insane how
Yeah, I've
clear
seen
it
the
is.
pictures. Yeah, I've seen the pictures.
They're
But
But I'm
mapping
talking
it
about
also.
it's an actual video. Like it's on YouTube. It's a 4K,
It's
and
a
it's
4K
just
video,
orbit. It's
Yeah,
insane.
they're mapping. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
mapping
but
the
see
moon.
that
It's
kind of
crazy.
thing, Ron, is what I always point to when these UFO profiteers talk about structures on the moon,
Yeah.
and they have 40 or 50-year-old grainy ass photos.
Oh my
Mhm.
God,
You
right?
know, and I say, no, find me that with the Chinese satellites that are orbiting in 4K.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And then we'll
yeah.
really see what's there. They never do that. They always rely on their grainy ass 50-year-old pictures.
Or they'll tell you that this is fake. The new one, that's fake.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
just
they
it's
sanitize it.
CGI. Yeah.
Yeah. I want
Didn't
to take a moment to thank some kind and generous pledges. The Mothership Podcast with a kind and generous $30 PayPal
Holy.
says,
Oh wow.
Oh, she's great.
Roswell 75th anniversary. Do it live, Cambion. Well, yeah, everybody wanted us to, but I couldn't get all those experts to come here on that day because they were all at conferences or doing other things. So, but thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. Much, much appreciate it. One of the best ways to support us is to throw some money at us because that really does help. And we
Is that
thank
legal
all-
tender, Stephen?
Yeah,
that
it
legal
is.
tender?
It is. Yeah. Well, thank you and praise the cash, friends.
Whoop, whoop.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Mothership Podcast is making it
Praise
rain up in here.
cash.
Yeah. Thank you
Hey,
very much.
hey, Steven, just so you know, I thought I messed up. I thought I put it in the regular chat, but in the private chat. And for you, Six, in case you ever want to see it, I put that link to that one of the moon ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
and also a kind and generous pledge of $10 by PayPal from David, who says, "Welcome back, Stephen. Very much appreciated. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. Much, much appreciated. And we thank you for your kind and generous pledges. That helps keep us in business here. Thank you all. We appreciate it. And I do want to remind everybody that we have a Patreon for $1 a month, and you can become a channel member. Click the join button. Patreon members get some extra content and also the channel members. So Patreon's $1 a month. The channel members $5 a month. You get some extra YouTube benefits and access on the channel to our members only section, and you get all the PayPal benefits too. So there's my pitch for the night. I'm not good at that stuff, so we usually
I gotta
great job.
quickly
You did a great job,
interject that although I might try to poach some of your viewers, I cannot mow your lawn because YouTube keeps deleting my channel, so I can't be monetized. So you can come watch me, but just give your donations to Truth Seekers because
And,
doing good work here.
and I just want to say, Mothership is a paid member of Unidentified S4, and she's.
Oh, there
great.
you go. So she's supporting many shows then.
Yeah, she is, and she's starting her own show in September. So
I don't
It's
know
called
why-
Mothership Podcast. Yes, and she
I don't
also
know-
contributes to the Wacky World of Wilcock here. She
I
does some
saw
of
that
those
video
edits.
of him.
I don't know why you pick on me, Steven, in my channel, because I'm the only one here that's not monetized. Anything.
Are
or
you not?
gets
I'm not
super
monetized.
chats and nothing like
Why
that.
are you not monetized?
He's
I
only
don't
got
have
like
nobody
three
likes me.
subscribers. He's got 3 subscribers, haven't you, Ron?
Every time I reach over 1,000 subscribers and like over like the 10,000 hours of views needed or whatever, they
Yeah.
instantly delete my channel and I have to start all over again.
Motherfuckers!
Oh, wow.
That's
Well,
I'm
actually,
at-
Ron, you're pretty. Ron's got almost 700
Yeah,
subscribers,
he
so
has,
he needs
yeah,
300
yeah.
more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put right in the live chat the link. Everybody should go over and subscribe. Help him out. Let's get him to 1,000.
by tonight, by the end of play today.
Oh, man, that would be incredible.
We've
have
done
you-
that. We have done that for 3 channels so far.
I know,
but
and
he's
I
not
don't-
close enough. But we're going to bump him pretty good tonight.
And are you
Sure.
are you regretting any of those, Steve?
No, wait. Well, I want to say
Not
something
really.
before you answer that, Steve. One thing is for sure: when you do get me there and help me there, I guarantee you, I won't turn around and just step on your toes and like. I'll leave it there like that.
Yeah.
Cut
No,
the
I
toe.
don't regret any of them, but I will say that just because somebody has a show and I help them out doesn't mean I agree with
Yeah,
what they
fair
talk
point.
about or what
Yeah.
they do or
Fair
what.
point.
But I was happy to help other content creators struggling to get over the hurdles, and we've
Yeah.
done
Now
it. 3
Now I
times
know-
now we've gotten somebody right over 1,000.
I just thought about it. Now I know where all this animosity is coming from. You know what it is, folks? I gave Steve a friggin' 3D printer, right?
Yeah.
And now he's stuck leveling his new 3D printer for
And it's
about
stuck.
3 weeks.
It's
And he's,
driving- goddamn thing is stuck.
And he's
driving
and he
Steven
blames
crazy
me.
now.
Blaming
I
you for all
understand.
that.
He's blaming me for it.
Ron,
It's
what did
giving
I
him
tell you?
sleepless nights.
Ron started talking to me about 3D printing, and I said, I really want to get into it, but I don't want to aggravate myself with a machine that constantly breaks down or won't work right endlessly. And he told me, no, the first generation ones were a pain in the ass. The new ones, not so much. I have been tearing my hair out trying to keep this thing. I got it working for a little while. I printed all the stuff for the Roswell event. Now the thing is clogged and it's not level and not printing right. So I have to rip the whole thing apart and build it all back. And
Well, I understand
it's
that
Ron's fault.
Ron is it works in IT. He'll probably charge you to come out and fix it.
Steve is IT. That's the crazy part.
Well,
Yeah.
come on, Steve.
He's
I'm a
IT.
pretty
You know
tech
what?
guy, and I can't keep this stupid thing working.
No, you know what it is? He has no patience. That's it. And
I haven't noticed.
let me tell you, I was in the same boat. I would pull my hair out like that. I tell you, I used to have a mullet. Look at me now. That was happening from 3D
so
printing.
aggravated, Ron, that I worked on it for a little while yesterday, but I was in the live chat for 18 hours. And once I was done with that, I was going to try to level it again or clear the clog. And I just said, I'm putting it away till Monday. I'm going to the cabin. I don't give a shit.
I had to put a new nozzle on mine. It got clogged. I had to change it
Yeah.
yesterday. You know?
18, 24-hour streams. Yeah. After that, definitely do not attempt 3D printing. That's a
that's just crazy. Crazy talk. Yeah.
But I need the printer because we're printing free gifts. We're printing like UFO models, Roswell wreckage replica, and stuff like that. That's why I got the printer, to give people something back,
Yeah.
Now, Ron made that stuff for his little demonstration there. That was all 3D, or most of it.
Oh,
Yeah, a lot of it. Was.
And Ron's got those multi-purpose alien heads.
Yeah, and I'm going to steal those from him.
Or should I say
Tell
butt
him,
plugs?
send me the designs, man.
He calls me alien bus. He calls them butt plugs.
Well, they've got similar features. Let's say.
I don't know.
And
I got
David
one that
Wilcox
I
should have
3D
invested in you.
I got one that my neighbor here at the cabin made me, and he 3D printed it in glow in the dark. I'll send you the design, Ron.
I have that filament. Huh?
Yeah, it's the one on Thingiverse with the eyes are separate, and you got to jam the eyes in when you're done.
I'll
You'll
send you the
notice
model,
right away.
but you don't have to do that. I have the model where you don't. It's all in one. It's a few different busts like that.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Ron's stuff, and I'm just going to slap Truth Seekers on it. And then if anybody asks, I'm going to say he ripped me off. Those are my designs. The funny thing is the TR3Bs I was printing, I found these great models of TR3Bs. 3 of them, 3 different models of it, right? Like different takes on the TR3B. And I started printing them to give out on the show here. And then Mystery Eon comes in the live chat, and I mentioned the TR3B models, and he said, oh, check out Thingiverse. I have my TR3B models on there. It turns out I was stealing his designs.
Oh.
But the cool thing is, then he made us a custom Truth Seekers TR3B with the logo. So,
cool.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah.
But has anyone ever seen a real TR3B?
We've had guests here that have.
I think so. I recorded that one that I put online.
Yeah,
I mean,
actual, clear footage of what one actually looks like. Yeah.
Oh, no, you can't see the skin or nothing, but actually, like, I don't know. To me, it's it's a triangle with the 3 lights just zooming like that. There's no FAA lights blinking. There's no sound, nothing. And I even posted it on Twitter and called Mick West. I said, "Hey, Mick, take a look at this."
Yeah,
he couldn't figure it out for nothing.
Well,
they're actually, Mothership Podcast is saying, there has to be a dildo out there somewhere called the Alien Probe. There actually is, and it looks like an octopus tentacle.
Have we got any pictures?
I know because of my David Wilcock dildo challenge, where we filled a whole box of dildos. One of them was an alien dildo. I thought he would enjoy it.
I'm googling them now.
You're worried about Six saying the F word. This show is just turned into.
Wait, did you mail David Wilcock a box of dildos?
No, we buried it in an undisclosed location.
Okay.
And then
What about a sandwich?
I offered him. It was pretty famous for a little while. Everybody was joking about it. It was the David Wilcock $10,000 box of dildos challenge.
Because he willed the cocks, right?
Yeah.
He's willing those cocks into manifestation.
So I challenged him to find the box of dildos buried somewhere in the world. And if he found the box of dildos, I would give him $10,000. And he didn't find. And then viewers started burying dildos all over the world and giving me the GPS. And we said we would give him $100 for each of those that we found.
I could just imagine in 10,000 years' time when people are digging up, buildings, and they find boxes of dildos just all over them.
Oh my God! 20 years later.
Enjoy the campfire chat.
Yeah, with a card.
Dudes, but we need a small break and show us some Trixie. No
Yeah,
Brokeback Mountain banana sandwiches
They
tonight.
love the Trixie.
Oh man!
Can you blame them? Trixie is awesome. She's a really cool girl. Yeah, really
This is Trixie from Truthseekers, thanking you for your generosity. I'm gonna praise the cash so hard. You are gonna need a cease and desist letter from your fake lawyer to make me stop.
I was screaming on the bonnet.
This is Trixie from Truthseekers, thanking you for your generosity. I'm gonna praise the cash so hard, I'm gonna need a fake med bed to bring me back to life.
Oh my God!
One more.
This is Trixie at the exclusive Truthseekers UFO desk. And I like nothing more than getting down on my knees and praising the cash. Every time you donate, I'm gonna get down on my knees and praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your generosity.
Praise Trixie. Praise Trixie.
You better keep you have John Doe away from Trixie, otherwise your will will be gone.
I could totally see Trixie rolling around in a bed full of cash, couldn't you? I could totally see
Oh,
that.
I thought you were going to say a box full of something else there.
Praise the cash, yeah.
Hey, but look, to be fair with the woman, I mean, like you said, man, I mean, I wouldn't know. How the hell do you find a male to do this kind of thing? Somebody out there.
Oh, you've got.
must
I'm
do it.
sure you'd find
Somebody must do
I'm
it. I
sure.
mean,
No, I'm gonna. I have. Listen, I like to keep my promises, and originally women said you got to have some men, and I went, yeah, I'll find a collection of dancing men, and I'll put some men in. I don't care. But then I went looking, and I couldn't find anything.
Right.
But I did sort of promise that there would be men. So I don't. If I have to, I'll pay some dude to come over and dance on a green screen. I guess I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Man, you're gonna have some fun emails after this show.
I'm sure there's some clubs you could go
Well,
to.
you know what the shame thing is that I did have a brother-in-law who danced. He was a stripper, but he divorced my sister-in-law, and it would probably not be like acceptable for me to call him up and ask him to come and dance. You know,
strip for me. Strip.
yeah,
For me.
come strip for me. That would be a little awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sure there's some clubs you could go to and pick up a guy. No, that's probably not the right place to go.
Jesus Christ, Andy!
Well, you'd have to tell them it's gonna
Look,
clash
I'm not
with all
picking
the
up dudes just for this show. No,
Just a
I
thought.
think I could go to casting sites and say,
Yeah.
beefy, attractive male wanted for a quick dance job and pay the guy $100.
Quick
Oh,
dance
God.
job. I wouldn't say quick dance job.
If one of your Twitter haters or whatever gets a hold of that ad from you, boy, let me tell you, you're done.
Yeah.
Oh God!
I'm serious. I can see it now.
I mean, you're close to Philadelphia, right? I mean,
Trixie is
I
not.
got it. I just haven't asked around. I know so many out of work actors. That's one of them's got to be a big beefy dude with that are look good with his shirt off.
I know
or
Ryan.
whatever.
Ryan will do it.
Who's Ryan?
Ryan, you
Shut
know
up, dude.
Oh yeah, no,
He'll do it.
no.
Oh, I even feel bad for the ladies already. Just saying.
Has anyone kept tabs on Angelique? How's that story
Oh,
going?
God.
Does anyone know?
I don't know. She was at a UFO conference not long ago. I know this alien girl Amy interviewed her or something.
Isn't that funny how like now she turned into the UFO circuit jet crowd and just now is on tour.
Really?
So much for
Anybody
peace
with
and
a-
love, the flower child. Now I'm a
anyone with a good story can end up in a UFO conference. It's amazing how easy it is.
5x5 News, send me the links. Please, God, send me the links. Please, God. Because I really don't want some strange dude with his shirt off dancing in my house, okay? All right? Send me the links. Email me the links.
You protest too much, Stephen.
And Stephen don't realize he's actually streaming this shit.
Yeah.
I don't care. We're having
Oops.
Well, you know what? Technically, I worked 18 hours yesterday. Now, I know I was only in the live chat answering questions, but I had to be there because people like Ron would come in the middle of it and go, who's this person being interviewed? Even though it says right in the beginning of the interview, the interviewee was like, this is the date, this is the time, this is the person being interviewed. Ron would come in and go, who's this guy being interviewed? So then I would tell him, and then he'd go, when was this interview done? This is old, right? And then
he hates me, bro.
1991, you dumbass. They said it right in the beginning.
He's really having a hard time.
But my point is,
He
I was
hates
here
me.
for 18 hours yesterday, so today I consider overtime. Like, you know.
You know
And
what
I
I
usually
remember
don't do
from
shows
that?
on Friday. I usually keep the cabin to myself, but I
There-
wanted
there-
to be here today.
There was this one interview which ended really quite abruptly. Well, the guy goes ahead and says something like, or the interviewer asks, he says, has your father ever done anything illegal? In other words, I don't remember the exact words. And he's like,
And then they cut the thing.
yeah. And then he goes, first he says yes, and then he asks him in a different way or something. Then he says, oh no, and then they just cut it. They said, all right, you know. I mean, good for the reviewer. I mean, or the interviewer saying, okay, all right. If you're gonna lie to me within 2 seconds, I mean, come on now.
I know.
I mean, granted, still you need to look
No,
at all
listen, and I'm just kidding. UFO John Doe, I was there to answer the questions. I was there to sort of help guide people through what was going on because it does get confusing. Some of those interviews didn't mention who the name was or when it was. It was just stuff jammed in the National Archive. And the National Archive was no help. It was like people being interviewed about Roswell. Great. Thanks for that.
No
So
names, no references, no who's
so I had to
interviewing.
go and ask other experts, who is this person? What is their background? Why are they being interviewed? So that I would be able to answer questions about it.
Well,
and I didn't mean to put that in there, like put a graphic saying this is the name, this is the date of the interview, this is who they are. But I just ran out the clock trying to.
Hey,
See
you
what
can
happens,
go back
UFO John
and
Doe?
edit it, right? Like put in another 2 days worth of work into it.
No. See what happens, UFO John Doe? You give super chats and you're nice like that, you get treated nice.
Yeah.
Me,
No, we
you
treat
said the same
everybody
a
nice.
few minutes ago, and he was calling me a
bust-
dirtbag.
I told everybody this. Ron knows I'm from Philadelphia, and where I come from with men, if I bust your balls, it's a sign of affection. It really is. That's the way we are in Philly. If I
I'm from
bust your
Brooklyn,
balls,
my man. I know.
yeah, it means I like you. I bust your balls 'cause I like
Figuratively
you.
or
I'm not-
literally, Steven?
the likely
Yeah.
Didn't Project Camelot interview the dude in the red jacket? Wasn't that the son of one of the people? Didn't Project Camelot interview that guy?
Probably. They interviewed
one time.
everybody.
Another
Yeah.
one of
who was it?
young conspiracy brain on the floors. Love you all. Thank you for having me on, Steve. I will email you again. Hopefully, we'll do a future one, maybe with Jeremy Reese together on the Alien Science.
He's going to come here and show us some wacky ass alchemy stuff, and I'm going to bust his
Drink it.
balls because I don't even understand what the hell's going on. He's got bottles of piss and stuff. Yeah, look,
Oh,
this
what
is
the
a
hell is
bottle
that?
of piss. Some of
was
this stuff.
gold, now it's white powder.
That looks dodgy
That's
to
all.
me.
I don't
like
do
it.
anything with urine, anything of the such. I don't recommend anybody drink or eat any of it. You'll kill yourself instantly. And yes, I am a fool. I'm the only person that takes physical gold and silver and melts it into this, which is definitely not the same. So
No, my God.
Have you made any red mercury yet, though? That's the question.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice.
But yeah.
There we go.
Anywho, I gotta go. I'm doing my weekly.
Yeah, we're gonna
stream
wrap
every
things up
Friday.
soon here.
I go to leakproject.com. I do Weekend at Burn Eyes, and then every Monday I do alternative history reviews on Autodidactic Australia channel and Apex on Alien Scientist. We'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks for everything you do, Steve.
Cheers,
and
man.
all the rest of you.
Peace out, dude.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
Much love.
Alchemy. Boom. There we go. And then there were 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you want to
Rogue
make you feel
Status
good.
is here. Rogue Status.
Who knows?
Rogue Status is here. Rogue
Good evening,
Status.
gentlemen.
Oh, there he is.
This weekend, I am finishing the last few little bits of that sunroom. For those that don't
Outstanding.
know, Rogue Status was the first winner on the "Come to my cabin and I'll make you work all weekend" sweepstakes.
Oh,
He
the
came
electrician.
here,
That's right.
and he wired this whole thing, and he did a great job. Even my, oh, by the way, my wife saw it and she knew right away I didn't do it. That's how good of a job. She looked at it and she went, she thought Matt did it, my neighbor. She
got
said,
somebody in.
"Did Matt do that?" I said, "No, that was my friend who came here and did it. You met him." And she went, "Oh, he's the electrician." I said, "Yeah." So he did a great job. Nothing is caught on fire or exploded. And if I
That's
wired
good.
it, there would be a good. I'm okay with wiring, but it takes me forever. And then I still got outlets that don't work.
He don't work for Tesla. That's why. You know, that's why. I
But
didn't
he
like-
did a great job, and I want to let him know that his contribution was great
There you
because he did that. He saved me at least a weekend or two of me trying to figure it out and get it done.
Cool.
And so
Cool, man.
You probably
just
want to
have-
do it properly. Yeah.
I epoxied the floor, but one spot needs to be gone over, and then there's where the rocks were like messed up at the bottom of that one pier. I'm going to redo the rocks, but I'm like 2 hours and I'm done that whole sunroom. So thank you.
That's
for
awesome,
your
man.
help.
I look forward
Really
to
appreciate it.
Take pictures, man. I want to see.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. I'm going to do a video, a walkthrough.
Cool. That's
Right.
outstanding. So what's up, everybody? How we doing? I just got here. I have no idea what's going
Good.
on.
You know what I was going to mention was, I mean, you mentioned about so many people that were interviewed even across the 20 hours. I mean, that was quite a few. Who was it? Don Smith that said that he interviewed 600 or something like that. Was that the one that did the 600 interviews?
600 people he interviewed.
Imagine that. My God.
He's the best one I liked out of everybody was that Don
He
Smith guy.
did use a process of elimination. If they lied to you once, just dump them, or if they clearly lied intentionally, just get rid of them. There's
And
doesn't
actually,
even
I
matter.
want to. We have 2 other show hosts here, so this should be okay. I have a visitor that just stopped by the cabin, so I'm going to have to bow out of here for a little bit. I nominate the 2 other show hosts to make sure that this does not go off the rails until I return.
Yo,
Yeah.
tell
Right.
your neighbor I said hello, all right?
Yes,
could it?
yes.
How,
I will.
how could
I'll be
anything
right back.
bad happen?
I paid somebody to ring his bell so he could get the hell out of here.
His doorbell. His doorbell.
Yeah, in the
Oh my
woods.
God.
So I'm
I
gonna
got
just
you.
Corn.
I'm gonna put my PayPal address in the chat now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I thought Don Schmidt was one of the great ones. Also, always enjoy Walter
think
Bosley.
all the-
Also, man.
all the
Yeah,
way
Don
until
Schmidt
the
was
end. Yeah, all the way until the end. Then I started seeing him being a little pushy. But other than that, I liked his attitude, and I really certainly like that look. If somebody's gonna lie to you, just dump them. Don't even. Granted, look. You might be dumping something or some portion that's still real, but if you're gonna lie to you, you can't trust anything they say after
That's
that.
it. Credibility is gone.
Yeah, they're gonna
Credibility
keep lying.
shot.
You
Shot.
don't know when they're being honest with you. That's the thing. Yeah,
But imagine at
that's-
600, I suppose that was across like 10 years time. He did give a time period, but it was across a while. It wasn't like in 1 week.
Did any of you see any of you guys see a show that was on maybe last year or something? I don't know if it was History Channel, one of those channels that they did the Jesse Marcel, the Roswell thing, and they were doing like AI that
to see
showed
if
the
they were
interview
lying.
to see if they were lying.
Yeah.
Did
I
you?
saw
Yeah,
that.
I seen it.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
A bit gimmicky. I think it was a bit of a gimmick because you can't really get, it was
agree.
lie detectors, wasn't it? An AI. It was mainly AI rather than
Yeah, looking at facial expressions and all that, and it would say true. or something. I don't know.
I have no. It didn't convince me one way or the other. I was still in the same position I was.
Yeah,
They had a lot of the people that Steven interviewed and all that. They were, I believe, on that.
Well, yeah,
That's
but
why
the
nice
AI's
to them.
the AI is only working off the few interviews that are available to the AI.
Yeah,
So
and some of it's old footage as well. It's
exactly.
Not like, yeah.
It's not like there's thousands of hours for it to
to learn, right? Yeah,
right. It's got what, a couple, 2-3 hours.
It's a bit gimmicky, you know. I thought it was just a nice
That's
idea,
right.
But
no, that makes sense. Is like the machine learning. Like, how can it tell like if it doesn't have any baseline to go off of on the person?
Absolutely, and some of the footage was from just interviews like 50 years ago. It's like, how's it able to do that? I mean, I know computers these days are very good, but and because who was it turned out to be lying in the show. There was one that was supposedly a surprise.
I think it was the son of one of the people.
I think it was that Anderson guy or whatever.
Yeah. Who apparently the AI said he was lying, which I thought, oh fuck, don't be real. I wanted to believe that he wasn't lying. But
Thanks, Six.
But then
sorry.
So it's okay. Yeah. But the AI then says he was lying. It's like, well, fuck. I'm still not going to believe the AI. But I've got an open mind. But like I say, I thought the show was a bit gimmicky, but interesting to watch because some of the old footage was interesting.
You have John Doe. Yeah. A majority of people, Marcel is said was true, but the guy, if I'm wrong, the one that was, I think it was Anderson, right? The guy that said he was 6 years old or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
A couple, some things they were saying true, but then at the end or whatever, the end result was they said false.
Yeah.
That he was being deceptive. Yeah, deceptive.
Being deceptive. Yeah. Well, again,
even though those old ladies were, it said true, I believe, on the old ladies that you know, and there wasn't that much footage. That's where you got to go back to that. But on the footage, based off the footage they had, it determined that they were not being deceptive, that they were being truthful. So that's pretty interesting.
I don't even watch regular television programming. I don't even order the service. I just get internet only. And I'll tell you why, because I mean, especially now, it's almost all complete bullshit. Now the thing is look, years ago I thought the History Channel was really cool, Discovery, really cool. And, you know, the Ancient Aliens, well, it was still kind of, you know, entertaining. But
I agree.
The thing is now looking at it now, it's almost all bullshit.
Oh, it just keeps repeating the same stuff now. I don't even watch it anymore. I gave up.
Yeah, it's sickening. So
I like that. I love the idea of Ancient Aliens. You know, I really love the whole idea. And
they've been caught too many times, though. That's the problem with that.
It's like Skinwalker Ranch and
also you have to remember
Island
that most of Ancient Alien theory was based on bad translations by Zachariah Sitchin. He had no idea how to really translate Sumerian, so he made a lot of bad errors, like, you know, those who came from the skies. It didn't really say that. No, it said basically those who came from heaven, which I guess you could argue, but you know, he tended to push these were technological beings. They weren't spiritual beings. And the Sumerian texts, when they're actually translated, are talking clearly about spiritual beings, not corporal beings with bodies.
Isn't that comparable to word salad? I mean, you're just choosing particular words that suit your your
narrative. Your narrative.
The narrative.
Well, that's like the petroglyphs and hieroglyphs also.
It depends on how you translate them. You can see an alien, or you could see a demon. You know, it depends on how you.
Let me ask you a question. Like with the Sumerians, right? And also because you'll see some of this saying Gobekli Tepe. I don't think those are like, they keep saying that they have handbags. For some reason, I don't believe that's a handbag. It looks like one.
No,
I have a feeling that has some energy or something that has to do with something. I don't know why.
They call them handbags because they look
like one.
Termed them handbags, but I don't think everyone believes they're handbags. But
it is interesting that all those statues have the same thing in their hands. Though.
Yeah, that's true.
And from different parts of the.
Could have been water, you know, carrying something to carry water because water was scarce in some of those areas.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Well,
I've always been
Possible.
interested in that kind of stuff too, and I've done a lot of research as well as watched a lot of programming on it. Here's the thing though, there really was people back then. I mean, but think of the idea of how long ago it was. To us, 20 years is a distance. 100 years, wow, we weren't even alive. Think of this. This is thousands of years ago.
No, I
I mean,
agree. Yeah.
I mean, and granted, look, were they trying to tell us something? I suppose, yeah. But what does our art do? Our art does the same thing. What if somebody, 3,000 years from now finds our stuff?
Well, it all depends.
Yeah.
We have
They're
some
going to find
art
boxes
now
of
that's
dildos.
just
Is what they're going to
abstract
find.
Or
stuff.
they find a box of dildos.
Oh no!
Boxes
You know
of
what though?
dildos.
On that note, listen, we're approaching 2 hours, and I
Okay.
have
Wow.
some other things that I have to do
Alright.
tonight. So we're gonna try to wrap it up. But here's what I want to say: going forward, I did have a hard and fast rule that I don't do shows from the cabin on Friday or whatever. But I'm willing to do that. So I think going forward, every Friday we're gonna do a panel show to sort of
sounds
wrap
great.
up the week and talk about things that we presented or talked about during the week. I think that's a good idea. You guys are all welcome next Friday, but I think we're
Oh.
going to try to do it a little bit earlier, like maybe 7 p.m.
That would be
something like
great
that.
for me because it's now 4 a.m. in the morning
Oh
here.
my
Yes.
lord! Right.
Well, I thank you for being. Listen, you don't have anything more important to do, Andy.
I got nothing to do,
know-
man. Nothing to do.
Yeah. I think I want to steal him away from Anthony so I can have that British co-host. That's not fair. How am I supposed to compete with that shit? He's got a limey co-host.
We'll find you somebody.
It's not
Hey,
fair.
think of that though. Think
I'm
of
gonna
the
get
power
Incel
of.
Girl. Yeah.
Think of a power of like a professor from another country that has this accent, but he speaks perfectly good English. It's like you almost want to believe him, but here's the right. But
So
think
what
of it.
What are you trying to say?
Works for Nick Pope.
This is what I'm saying is us as Americans that have been around other Americans know or can pretty much feel out when somebody's bullshitting just by how they say certain things. Now, when you get somebody from over across, it's gotta
Again, what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say it's hard to do.
I'm not bullshitting. I'm not bullshitting. I may
just
sound
saying.
like I no. I'm
Well, think of it though. I mean, and I find actually, I mean, maybe that's my personal thing. When I hear somebody from, and I don't care where they are in the world, if they're smart, they're intelligent, and they're speaking proper stuff, and truth.
Yeah.
I don't care where they're from in the world. But I gotta say that maybe I find it a little bit more enjoyable because I'm, heard so many Americans talk.
Oh yeah, you're sick of hearing Americans.
A long time ago, I used to think.
No, these English people do sound like they know what they're talking about somehow with that. That's how Nick Pope gets away with his shit. He's like, I investigate UFOs for the British mod.
It was lost in
and the truth is, all he did was answer the phone and give people's phone numbers to the people that actually.
It's a glorified secretary.
Oh my
That's
God,
pretty
he
much-
was a secretary. Yes.
But hey, Andy,
I'll say this and jump out of here real quick. I apologize, 6 cents.
No, go, man.
People get hypnotized by big words, titles, and fancy accents. Right, it happens all the time, whether the titles are real or not. But Stephen, I hope you have a great weekend at your cabin, and awesome job on the 3-part series there. So I hope everyone has a great night. Thank you for letting me speak and come in.
I'm gonna share one last thing before we bounce on out of here. Just
Take
a
care,
reminder for anybody that wants to argue with me. Here we go. I was just a secretary. In a secretariat pool.
Perfect. Yeah.
It was just a secretary. So there you go.
Yeah.
Better than being the janitor, right?
And I'm going to throw you people out of here. Thanks, 6 cents. Lead chat room moderator, always here to help out with the show.
Hey, we'll see
you have a
Cheers,
good
man.
night. All right. And
Take care. Stephen, kick
and
me
then we
out.
have Andy from all the way across the pond. He came here at 4 o'clock in the morning because this show is
I don't
just
have
so
a life.
important. Yes,
And I don't have a life. Yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
Thank you, Andy. Always
Thanks,
welcome
Stephen.
here. Bye-bye. And then we have Ron, who I'm not sure if I want to thank him for making me get into 3D printers or punch him in the face. Right now, I want to punch him in the face because the thing's clogged. It won't level. But I have a plan, Ron. My
Call me
neighbor here,
tomorrow.
Matt. Well, also my neighbor here, Matt, is bought a printer right before I did. He bought the one I was going to print but then I bought the bigger one because I'm stupid. Anyway,
But is he experienced? Like, has he been using it? Okay.
He's
So then,
great at this. So next week I'm going to bring, if I can't get it going and perfectly leveled, I'm going to bring it here. Next week I'm going to buy him some beer and set him loose because he's like my
and
guy.
maybe I'll take a ride out, maybe if you want.
Yeah.
I'll take a 2-hour drive or whatever if you want me to help you or whatever. I don't care.
Really? Well, listen, I
don't care.
Just so you know, I have a camper right next to the cabin that sleeps too. You're always welcome.
Okay.
We're here every weekend, you know?
Are you saying it sleeps too because I'm fat, or you're just saying in case
I don't know if
to
you got
bring
a wife or you want to bring somebody.
right.
And if you have
All
more,
right, just making sure.
If you have wife and a couple of kids, we'll find room. I just got to know in advance. That's all.
No, it would be a self trip.
Oh, there you go. Then you got your own kitchen, your own shitter. It's great. You know, you don't have to poop in the woods. I got to empty the shit tank eventually, but you know.
Oh God. Yeah.
That's a job.
Make sure it's not on my
camp.
weekend. All right.
Nobody wants. Yeah. All right. Well,
but if you do run into trouble or whatever, we'll figure it out. All right.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
I think that Matt and me will be able to figure it out. But if not, I'm gonna make you come here and fix this piece of crap.
Okay.
Because it's your fault. You said this was easy.
Yeah.
Not so easy. It's
it
easy
is,
when it works.
On that note, everybody have a good night. Tomorrow,
Thanks,
12
Ron
noon.
From Cosmic Neighbors. I put his link. It's just search in the YouTube search bar Cosmic Neighbors. Go on over and subscribe. If you like my content, his is probably better. Don't like it too much. But go subscribe. We would appreciate that. He's getting close to the magic numbers. So let's help him out, friends.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks, Stevie.
All right. Good night, Ron. All right. Boy, this is this is a short one for us. Normally we do these panel shows and they go for 6 or 8 hours, and I just have other things to do tonight, and I apologize. And also my family's here with me, so I don't want to be rude. And I have a visitor from at my cabin right now, and I don't have extra headphones, or he would probably jump. You would join, right? He's like, maybe, I don't know. Talk to these weirdos on the internet. No, yeah. So we're going to bounce on out of here. I want to thank each and every one of my guests, my panel members here, Sixth Sense. We had Third Eye, Mind's Eye, Ron from Cosmic Neighbors. We had Andy from Unidentified S4, and we had Lord Ludacris, and Rogue Status. I hope I'm not forgetting everybody. Mark your calendars. Next Friday, we're going to do another one of these panel shows. We can have up to 10 people on the panel. You all are most welcome. Usually, when we tell people in advance, we have more guests. So hopefully, we will. Next Friday, probably 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be here broadcasting here from the Apocalypse Cabin, my favorite place. And you are most welcome here. So what else can I say? If you haven't yet, please be sure to check out that Roswell deep dive, because it's 20 hours of content. And I worked really, really hard getting all those people to do the interviews, recording all the interviews, editing some of the stuff down, getting the original testimony and enhancing the audio, cleaning it up because it was horrible, and putting together this 20-hour Roswell deep dive in honor of the 75th anniversary of Roswell. Did we come any closer to solving the mystery? I think so. I think most people are going to watch this 20 hours and they'll make up their mind. We have skeptics, believers. We have people with alternate theories of what it really was. We have all this original testimony that was different interviews from the 80s and 90s. It's all there waiting for you. Roswell Revisited, parts 1, 2, and 3. And I want to thank all the people that took part in that. All our experts, authors, and researchers really made it worthwhile and really made it a special event that it was. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. What can I say? I'm always happy when there's an audience. Thank you for coming here tonight and for being a part of mine. I am going to bounce on out of here. But we will be back Monday, and I'm happy to announce that Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be interviewing well-known UFO researcher, author, and just amazing guy, Philip Mantle from across the pond. Go look on Amazon. Just look up Philip Mantle on Amazon. He's actually got his own publishing company, so it's not just his books. He's publishing other people's books as well. I think we're going to be focusing on the alien autopsy hoax because he was largely responsible for exposing that. He's got an excellent book on that and actually many, many other things. So please join us Monday, this coming Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You are most welcome. I want to thank our kind and generous benefactors. Remind you, we have a Patreon, we have a channel membership. You can throw money at us, and the other best way you can support us is to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos like every good YouTuber tells you. It really does help us. We lost a lot of momentum just taking a few weeks off, so I'd appreciate you posting some of these videos on your social media, because Google loves that and may push us back higher in the search rankings. I want to thank all of you who do. I do see it. I see on Twitter people sharing the videos. Thank you all for that. Thanks to our kind and generous benefactors, people sending pledges, all you kind and generous people out there. You make this show possible, and you give me an attitude of gratitude. So I'm going to bounce on out of here. Until next time, friends. My name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you.